Hello, my name is Shinyi and welcome to the Creative Chimera studio. Today we are gonna cut my hair. This is a hairstyle that I've had for the majority of my adulthood life. I would say that I've been trying to grow it out since 2019, and interestingly enough, that was sort of a rebellion against whatever I had going on for the majority of my life. So let's backtrack. Back when I was in elementary school, my parents, being Asian, were like, you know how we can save money? Let's cut our hair ourselves. And I had a pretty traumatizing experience. I think, can't pinpoint it exactly, but maybe third or fourth grade, in which they gave me a bowl cut, and it was the most horrendous thing ever, totally traumatizing. And while I received very kind and generous feedback from my classmates saying that it looked great on me, I hated it because at the end of the day, what I think about feedback is that it really doesn't matter if you're the one suffering, right? People could love the way that something looks on you, but if you yourself do not feel confident, beautiful, handsome in the outfit, the makeup, the hair, then it really doesn't matter. And so as a response, and being a child, which like I couldn't afford to just go find a hairdresser and pay for one myself, I just started cutting my own hair. That was starting elementary school. Like literally as soon as that happened to me, that traumatizing bowl cut moment, I just had to take things into my own hands and I just started cutting my own hair. And for most of my, you could say, childhood life, which is just prior to graduating college, I maintained a pretty short hairstyle. And when I say short, I would say like bob short, like less than like up here maybe. And that was something that I felt very comfortable in, being tomboyish, and I've experimented with different variations of it. What I loved about it was that it gave me a very edgy vibe, but what I didn't like about it, or although, you know, actually I was okay with it back in high school, was having to maintain that by cutting it like every 2 weeks. And so because it was so ingrained in my formative years that I had relatively short hair, that was how I identified myself. So as I mentioned, in 2019, randomly I felt inspired to grow my hair out and to experience the opposite of what I've always experienced my entire life. And I let it grow out long like this. And something very interesting that I noticed going through the hair growing out process was that I couldn't register that I had long hair. So friends from high school and college would like see me and they'd comment like, wow, your hair is so long, like because of that drastic difference from always having maintained my hair this short to then like seeing me with hair like below, you know, like reaching to the bottom of my chest and like so far down my back. It was a shock factor to them, and I noticed that it was very intriguing how they would say that my hair was so long and yet I couldn't recognize myself as someone with long hair, even though objectively speaking, yeah, my hair was quite long, is quite long. But something over time finally changed. I think it was just, I needed like a couple years, and now I finally think like, yeah, I'm a long hair girl. But I don't know what it is, maybe turning 30, but I'm just like, I don't feel this anymore. I have a lot of hair. Part of the reason why I kept it so short previously was to combat this like bushiness that I feel. And I understand there are people who seek volume. They wish that their hair was more voluminous, and maybe the grass is always greener on the other side, but I just feel like this is a lot. Like I just have so much volume to work with and it's always getting caught on things. I don't know how to style it. I don't know how to wear it. There was a time when I thought like, oh, growing it out will be so great because then I can experiment with all these hairstyles. But in actuality, I'm very practical and I don't really care to spend time on styling my hair. Most of the time I wear it up and just clip it with a claw clip back here. And from the front, it looks as if my hair isn't even that long. And so when I let my hair down, I still have friends to this day who are just like, oh, I didn't even realize your hair is so long. That being said, I want to not go back to how short it was previously, like an outgrown bob, but I want to try for something that looks like this. It looks relatively easy to do, but I understand that there are some layers. Okay, so let me also add that, like, despite the fact that I've cut my hair for as long as I have, and recently in time my husband has allowed me to start cutting his hair. I've done his hair twice already. I don't have all the technicalities that like a barber would have, definitely not the training, and like looking at the picture, it looks like I would just crop it off, but to give it like a nice shape, I would probably have to add some layers. Now, the one thing that I am feeling nervous and scared about is, one, I'm already grieving the fact that I'm gonna lose this balayage that I got in Tokyo, the December of 2023, but at the same time, I just have this feeling that like this isn't me anymore. So the idea will be, we're gonna cut this off, and then to not make it look like just like I just cut it off, I'm gonna try to add some layers so that it will taper down. So that's my plan, and I'm really nervous, and I feel like the nervousness is actually driving my curiosity to do this, because at the end of the day, it's just hair and it will grow back. So worst case scenario, I hate it, I just have to wait a year or two and then it'll get back down. I'm not even being as brave as to go bald, which I actually had an internet friend recommend me at some point as a way to really detach yourself from your identity, because I feel like hair really frames your face, and so really defines how you see yourself. So anyways, enough blabbering, let's go do this. All right, so we have the reference picture and my trash can down here. I have this like toothed layering, thinning, hair thinning scissors, and then I have just these, and then I got this styling comb. So let's see what happens. Okay, that's a lot of hair. That already looks weird. Okay, why do I have so much hair? Dang, that's so much hair. Oh my god, this already feels so light. I'm gonna show you how much hair I've already cut off. Look at that, all that. Oh my god, it's like a small dog. I forgot to mention another reason why I liked keeping my hair so short. It's, well, obviously, as you can see, the thickness of this, right? Like, my mom always commented that you could just like make a broom or mop out of my hair. Is that the summers in Texas are unbearable. Not having a lot of hair helps. The back is like always the hardest part. It's always the hardest part to do yourself. That feels nice. I have not cut layers in a long time. Okay, that's a lie. I cut in some for my husband. From the front, if I pull my hair back, it looks like nothing's changed. I also have this I have some knots in my hair. See, I don't know how to take care of my hair. It looks really different when I pull it out front, but we're gonna add some layers. I already like the left side, or yeah, the left side a lot better than my right. I don't know if you can see, but I've started trying to like shape my hair a bit. You can see this side and like adding a few layers. I know the technique is kind of whatever, intuitive, you could say. And this side, it just looks so bad for it to just be like lobbed off like this, so I'm gonna go cut it, take out more more. So my husband is napping right now. He knows that I have the intention to cut my hair, but I wonder what he'll think like afterwards. Okay, that's nice. It feels like it tapers. I feel like hair is such an interesting medium to sculpt because it's kind of like fabric, but not. I'm liking it so far. This has been pretty good. I've taken out a lot of hair and it feels so lightweight. Have you cut your own hair? What do you feel about it? I feel like once you get in the groove, it's really relaxing, just like any medium of art. This process is also reminding me of like cooking and like pausing to taste what you're making and feeling it out and seeing like how it's going. I'm wondering if I should keep going or if I should stop here. I'm happy that there's still like a peak of my balayage from winter 2023, but it's not exactly the reference photo. I do need to clean up a bit. This feels too choppy, but yeah, that feels way too choppy. So I need to fix that. Let's look at the reference photo. I feel like she doesn't really have bangs. It's just like completely grown out. Ooh. This is a vibe. I kind of like this, but I'm not gonna go shorter for the time being. Okay, I'm just gonna clean up the layers and then I know I didn't end up with this because my bangs are different. Goodbye. Let's go in with the toothed. This is what I've landed on. I don't know. Maybe, sort of, a little bit. I am gonna let this sit for a day, my hair, and then see how I feel about it and if I want to trim it more. But I'm happy with it. This is, yeah, the final look for now. And then we will find out what happens if I keep going or not. But I like it. I think it's very spunky. It feels like a merge of that child me, the one who kept her hair like this short, and like the adult me, the version that you knew before I trimmed it, who had her hair like down to here. And I'm so excited to not have my hair trapped and everything. When I was cutting it out, I actually cut out like 2 knotted regions and I was like, ugh, this is what I need. Like, I just don't keep up with my hair and it gets tangled until it knots into something impossible to unknot. And it just felt so nice to like just snip it out because honestly I don't even miss that hair. Like, that's just so much hair. I will show you the final volume that I took out of my head. This is the final volume. It's not the entire trash can. I have hair like on the seat, so I need to vacuum up them. Alright, thanks so much for coming along on this impulsive adventure where I just needed to like completely change my identity, although it's not as if my identity has completely changed, but it already feels so different, and I think it's so cool that I have the ability to just do that and free myself of hair. So until next time, I take this from a podcasting community that fights adult loneliness. Don't be a stranger.